Okay, take a deep breath, because this one's wild. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. You know, the team that calls itself America's team, but hasn't seen a Super Bowl since dial-up internet was a thing. A team where drama doesn't just happen, it lives. And now, the latest episode in Jerry Jones's long-running football soap opera? Dak Prescott out. Shedeur Sanders in. Yes, you read that right.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
The rumors are swirling, insiders are whispering, and the internet is absolutely on fire with speculation. Shedeur Sanders, rookie sensation, social media icon, son of Deion Primetime Sanders, is being linked to the biggest quarterback chair in the NFL. And the Cowboys? Well, they might just be reckless enough to actually do it. Let's break this down, because what's happening here isn't just a trade rumor. It's not just football gossip. It's the perfect storm, a high-stakes cocktail of ego, legacy, desperation, spectacle, and, of course, Jerry Jones waving a checkbook like it's a lasso. Here's the setup. Cleveland flamed out. Again. Despite all the hype, Shedeur Sanders didn't get the starting job. The Browns went full Browns, and the franchise melted into its usual mess of confusion, cautious PR statements, and crushed fan hopes. And who's watching all this from afar, with a big OL grin on his face? Jerry. Because while Cleveland hesitates, while the Browns try to figure out if they should play it safe or blow it up, Jerry Jones is sitting in his office in AT&T Stadium, probably sipping something expensive and thinking, you know what this circus needs? A new ringleader. And what better ringleader than Shedeur Sanders? This isn't just about football. You know that. This is about image, about headlines, about control. Jerry Jones has built his empire on spectacle. The Cowboys have always been less of a football team and more of a broadcast network. They don't just play games, they perform them. They sell them. They script chaos better than most HBO writers. And Dak Prescott? His storyline is starting to wear thin. Yes, he's a good quarterback. Great at times. But he's also become the face of playoff heartbreak. The leader of so close, yet never close enough. The man who carries the expectations of a dynasty, without the rings to show for it. And Jerry? Jerry doesn't do quiet disappointment. He does bold moves. He does headlines. Enter Shedeur Sanders. Now before you yell, but he hasn't even proven himself in the NFL. You're absolutely right. But when has that ever stopped the Cowboys? This is the same franchise that's gambled on hype over substance so many times. You'd think they were sponsored by TMZ. And Shedeur? He's not just a rookie QB. He's a brand, a movement, a storyline already written in neon lights. Think about it. He's the son of Deion Sanders, who just so happens to be the most charismatic figure football has seen in the last 30 years. Shedeur's college tapes are highlight reels. His press presence is polished, and his confidence? Off the charts. You pair that with a city like Dallas, a media market that eats drama for breakfast, and suddenly, you've got yourself a blockbuster. And let's be honest, Jerry lives for that. Let's say it happens. Let's say the Cowboys make the move. Dak is traded, maybe to a desperate team looking for a steady vet. Maybe for cap relief. Maybe for picks. Maybe, just maybe, as part of some insane package that also brings Deion into the fold in a coaching capacity. Now you're really cooking with gas. You think Jerry wouldn't try to bring in Coach Prime? You think he wouldn't lean into the ratings goldmine that is Shedeur and Deion in Dallas? It sounds crazy. And that's exactly why it just might happen. Because Jerry doesn't chase safe. He chases legacy. He chases lights. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is glowing. But let's not ignore the risk. Because oh yeah, there's risk. This isn't some second-year guy with NFL reps under his belt. Shedeur hasn't played a meaningful down in the league. He's got the tools, sure. The poise. The swagger. But the NFL is a different beast. It chews up potential and spits out what could have been every season. And the Cowboys? They're not exactly known for patience. If Shedeur walks into AT&T Stadium and doesn't deliver immediately, the crowd will turn. The media will swarm. The narrative will shift from next superstar to next overhyped bust in record time. But that's the deal in Dallas. You're not just playing quarterback. You're leading a nationwide storyline. And for Shedeur, that spotlight might be blinding. But then again, maybe not. Maybe that's the point. Maybe Shedeur wants the heat. Maybe he's built for it. Maybe all of this, the college hype, the sideline leadership in Cleveland, the viral celebrations, the comparisons to his father, it's all just been a prelude, a warm-up act. And Dallas? That's the main stage. Let's talk about the fan base, though, because wow, it's divided. One half is frothing at the mouth. Get Dak out of here. Give us the kid with fire in his eyes and TikToks in his veins. They want the reboot, the new face, the prime legacy. They want to believe again. The other half? Terrified. They've seen this movie before. Quincy Carter, Drew Henson, Brandon Whedon, even Tony Romo, who went from savior to scapegoat in a matter of seasons. Cowboys fans have trust issues. And replacing a proven veteran with a rookie who hasn't taken an NFL snap? That's not just a gamble. It's a gamble with fireworks attached. But that's Jerry's game. And whether it ends in triumph or another chapter of tragic Cowboys lore, one thing is guaranteed. Everyone will be watching. Because this isn't just football anymore. This is entertainment. This is content. This is the NFL meets Netflix. And Shedeur is the new protagonist. So what happens next? Maybe Dallas pulls the trigger. Maybe Shedeur becomes the new face of the Cowboys, running out of the tunnel under stadium lights, so bright they burn retinas. Maybe he takes over, lights up the scoreboard, and ushers in a new era. Or maybe it all collapses. Maybe he's not ready. Maybe the pressure crushes him. Maybe Dak wins a ring somewhere else, and the Cowboys are left explaining why they traded stability for a story arc. Either way, Jerry wins. Because the Cowboys will be in the headlines. They'll be trending. They'll be everywhere. And for a franchise more invested in relevance than rings, that might be enough. But for fans, for those still dreaming of actual football success, this is the crossroads. Do you want results? Or do you want ratings? Because with Shedeur Sanders, you might get both. Or neither. And that's the beauty and the madness of the Dallas Cowboys. So what do you think? Has Jerry finally lost it? Or is this the move that changes everything? Is Shedeur the next legend or the next lesson? Drop your takes in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you love NFL drama, quarterback chaos, and watching America's team spiral into its next headline. Because one thing's for sure, when Dallas makes moves, the entire league pays attention. And when it's Shedeur time, you're going to want a front row seat. Let's be real here. No franchise lives for chaos like the Dallas Cowboys. No team leans harder into the drama, the spectacle, the national obsession. And now, they might be this close to making the boldest, most chaotic, most perfectly on-brand move imaginable, replacing their $160 million franchise quarterback with a rookie who hasn't played a single NFL snap, just because the vibes are immaculate. And the best part? We all knew this was coming, because this is what happens when hype becomes religion. When a clip of Shedeur Sanders celebrating on the Browns sideline goes viral and somehow hits harder than anything Dak's done in the last 2 seasons. When narrative overtakes numbers. When Jerry Jones gets that look in his eye, the one that says, we don't need a rebuild. We need a rerun of 1995 with better camera angles. Let's not sugarcoat it. Jerry wants the primetime glow back. It's not just about Shedeur. It's about Dion. It's about legacy. It's about brand synergy, baby. The Dallas Cowboys are already a walking sports documentary. Now imagine injecting the Sanders family into that narrative. Jerry knows exactly what he's doing. He's not just chasing wins. He's chasing immortality. And Shedeur? He fits the script too well. You've got the swagger, the bloodline, the social media army, the film room discipline, the post-game charisma. He looks like a cowboy. He acts like a cowboy. And in a league where perception has become just as important as production, he might be more of a cowboy than Dak ever was. Now let's talk about Dak for a second, because no matter how this shakes out, we're probably watching the slow fade of a QB who's been almost great for nearly a decade. and almost doesn't cut it in Dallas. Dak's career has been one long balancing act between promise and pressure. When he's on, he looks like a top 10 QB. But when the lights get bright, when it's time to make the throw in January, it just doesn't click. And fans are tired of it. They're not mad, necessarily. It's more like emotional exhaustion. Like being stuck in a long-term relationship where everything should work. But deep down, you know it's never going to hit the next level. Dak has had every opportunity, every weapon, every offensive coordinator. He's had playoff games, primetime showcases, Pro Bowl nods. And yet, that NFC Championship game has remained a mirage in the Texas heat. And here comes Shedeur, a complete unknown in the NFL, sure, but known in all the ways that matter to Jerry Jones. He brings buzz. He brings headlines. He brings youth and potential, and most importantly, a new story. And that's what Jerry's really after. Because the Cowboys aren't just about wins. They're about the show. And Shedeur is the next headliner. Imagine it, AT&T Stadium. National anthem playing. The camera pans to Shedeur, cool as ever, visor down, crowd chanting his name. The broadcast cuts to Deion Sanders, watching from a luxury suite, nodding like Mufasa. Jerry Jones is grinning like he just sold oil to the moon. Twitter? Exploding. You don't even need to win the game. You've already won the moment. But here's the thing. This isn't just a PR stunt. Shedeur can ball. Say what you want about his college career, but he wasn't just a product of hype. He showed composure under pressure, accuracy, leadership, clock management. He played like someone who'd already been around pro athletes his whole life, because, well, he has. And yeah, the NFL is a different beast. The defenses are faster. The schemes are more brutal. The margins for error? Paper thin. But let's not pretend we haven't seen this story before. Sometimes, when you bet on confidence, you hit the jackpot. The question is Dallas willing to risk it all again? Because make no mistake, this would be a gamble. This isn't benching Andy Dalton for a young guy in a rebuilding year. This is trading or benching Dak Prescott, the face of the franchise. The guy you built around for nearly a decade. The one you paid a fortune to keep. And you're throwing all that out for a rookie? In most organizations, that move is unthinkable. But in Dallas, it's Tuesday. Because the Cowboys aren't playing by normal rules. They haven't been for decades. This is the NFL's version of a drama series with no off-season. Every move is a plot twist. Every press conference is a teaser trailer. And this is the kind of storyline that writes itself. And here's where it gets even crazier. You know, Jerry's thinking about how this ends. Not this season. Not next season. He's thinking about the 30 for 30. He's thinking about the docuseries. The jersey retirements. The ESPN special titled Primetime Part 2. The Era of Shedeur. He doesn't want to build a team that wins 10 games and loses in the wild card round. He wants a legend. And even if it crashes and burns, even if Shedeur flames out in 3 years, leaves town, and ends up playing backup in Carolina, you still win the headlines. You still own the news cycle. Because in Jerry's world, the only thing worse than chaos is irrelevance. And that's the double-edged sword of Dallas. They don't care about building quietly. They don't do trust the process. They don't want to win like the Bengals or the 49ers, methodically, boringly, with efficient quarterback play and a run-first offense. They want the lights. They want to matter. And if replacing Dak with Shedeur gives them that, well, cue the fireworks. Now, let's look forward. Let's say the Cowboys make the move. Shedeur gets the start. The media circus rolls into town like a rock tour. The fans split down the middle. Half are wearing custom Sanders number 2 jerseys with cowboy hats. The other half are writing strongly worded letters to Jerry asking what happened to loyalty. It's a madhouse. Game 1. Shedeur throws a pick on his third pass. Twitter melts. Hot takes fly like confetti. People scream bust before halftime. Then, fourth quarter. Game on the line. Shedeur leads a 75-yard drive. Hits CeeDee Lamb in the end zone. Cowboys win. He takes off his helmet. Smiles at the camera. And just like that, it's over. Dak's gone. The keys have been handed over. The Sanders era has officially begun. Or maybe it all falls apart. Shedeur's not ready. The offense stalls. The Cowboys end up 7-10. Fans turn on Jerry. Dak signs with another team and leads them to the playoffs. The Cowboys? Right back where they started. Except now with even more noise, more dysfunction, and less certainty. And you know what? It still wouldn't surprise anyone. Because this is what Dallas does. They ride the roller coaster willingly. They embrace the spotlight, even when it's blinding. And no matter how high they rise, or how hard they fall, we all keep watching. That's the real secret. Whether it's brilliance or disaster, we can't look away. And Jerry knows it. So what now? We wait. We watch. And we listen for the next cryptic Jerry Jones interview, the next Shedeur sideline clip, the next moment that tells us, oh yeah, it's happening. Because the Cowboys aren't just building a team. They're writing a saga. And in that saga, Shedeur Sanders? He might just be the main character. You thought the Dak Shedeur conversation was just another off-season headline? You thought this would blow over like every other wild Cowboys rumor? Nope. Not this time. This one sticks. Because this one feels personal. Let's really talk about it. Dak Prescott isn't just some placeholder quarterback. He's been the face of the Cowboys for nearly a decade. He came in humble, steady, everything you could ask for in a franchise guy. For a while, it looked like he might be the next great one. Another Aikman, another Romo. But somewhere along the way, the dream got muddy. Playoff exits. Interceptions in crunch time. Injuries. A lack of that it factor when the stakes were highest. And Cowboys Nation? They started asking the quiet question louder and louder. Is Dak the guy or just a guy? Now, that whisper is a shout. And it's not just coming from talk shows or Twitter. It's coming from inside the building. You can feel it. The energy is shifting. The tone of press conferences. The cryptic comments from Jerry Jones about doing whatever takes to win. The way Shedeur Sanders' name is starting to slip into conversations where it doesn't even belong yet. Let's be clear. Shedeur isn't the better quarterback right now, at least not on paper. He's never led a 2-minute drill in the NFL. He hasn't been hit by a 275-pound linebacker at pro speed. He hasn't had to dissect a Belichick defense on 3rd and long. But in the NFL, especially in Dallas, the paper doesn't always matter. Perception is power. And right now, Shedeur has it all. He's the new blood, the fresh face, the walking embodiment of what Cowboys fans wish they could believe in again. He's not just hope. He's hope with Wi-Fi, hope with a highlight reel, hope with a media playbook already carved from the primetime era. And Jerry Jones? Oh, he sees it. He sees the way the camera loves Shedeur. He sees the clicks, the engagement, the jersey mock-ups, the TikTok compilations with slow mo edits and inspirational music. He's not watching tape anymore. He's watching narrative. And Shedeur Sanders is a story too good not to tell. So now the Cowboys are sitting in a pressure cooker. And the heat's coming from every angle. From the fans? Absolutely. One more disappointing loss. One more week of Dak underperforming. And those we want Shedeur chants are going to hit like thunder in AT&T Stadium. You think Jerry's going to ignore that sound? From the media? They're licking their chops. Because whether Shedeur succeeds or flames out gloriously, the content writes itself. One week it's next prime, the next it's too soon. Either way, it's ratings gold. And from inside the locker room? Don't kid yourself. Players know what's up. They feel the shift. They see the extra attention Shedeur's getting. They see Jerry giving him the warmest handshake in the building. And even if they won't say it on camera, they're already wondering what the offense looks like with number 2 under center. Let's not forget, this is the Cowboys. Everything is amplified here. A small controversy in Jacksonville becomes a national debate in Dallas. A routine QB competition anywhere else becomes a cultural war in the heart of Texas. So what happens if Shedeur actually gets the start? Let's say Dak stumbles early in the season. The Cowboys drop a couple games they should have won. Maybe he throws a couple of costly picks in primetime. The defense starts showing signs of wear. Micah Parsons is putting in superhero performances, but the offense can't close. Jerry picks up the phone. McCarthy gets that "let's talk upstairs" call. And suddenly, it's not about development anymore. It's about momentum. About saving the season. About saving the brand. Put in the kid. Boom. The stadium erupts. Social media implodes. ESPN has a field day. And Shedeur? He walks out of that tunnel like he's been waiting his whole life for this exact moment. Because, honestly, he probably has. He's not new to the lights. He grew up under them. He's been coached by Dion since he was old enough to read a playbook. He's been doing interviews since most rookies were still trying to pass algebra. This moment, this stage, it's not too big for him. The question isn't, can Shedeur handle Dallas? The question is, can Dallas handle Shedeur? Because once he takes the field, everything changes. The offense changes. The playbook opens up. The energy shifts. You get a quarterback who believes he belongs. Not next year, not 5 games from now. You get a fan base that suddenly believes again. And if he wins, even one game, even just looks good in a tough loss, it's a wrap. There's no going back to Dak. There's no walking back the narrative. The era begins right there. But what if he fails? Let's go there. What if Shedeur stumbles? What if he throws a couple bad picks, gets rattled under pressure, struggles to adjust to the speed of the NFL? Well, then you get a different kind of content. Then the headlines flip. The skeptics rise. The talking heads go, "We told you he wasn't ready." You get the takes. He's more brand than ball. He needs more seasoning. Maybe the NFL isn't ready for Coach Prime Jr. But guess what? Even then, the Cowboys still win. Because in Dallas, it's not about winning games. It's about staying relevant. And Shedeur Sanders? He's a relevance machine. Even if he flames out, the storyline lives. The attention stays. The Cowboys dominate the conversation, just like they always do. That's the Jerry Jones philosophy. It's never just about building a Super Bowl contender. It's about building a legacy, one viral moment at a time. And Shedeur? He's the next headline, the next risk, the next roll of the dice. So here's the real question for Cowboys Nation. Are you ready? Are you ready to say goodbye to the steady hand and roll with a lightning bolt? Are you willing to trade predictability for potential? Safe for spectacular? Dak for Dion's son? Because one thing is very clear. This story isn't going away. It's building. It's rising. And if Jerry Jones has anything to say about it, it's not a matter of if. It's just a matter of when. So what do you think? Is Shedeur Sanders the next star in Dallas, or just another chapter in Jerry's high-stakes drama? Are we witnessing a quarterback revolution or a marketing masterclass in motion? Drop your thoughts in the comments, argue with each other respectfully, and don't forget to subscribe. Because if this ride gets wilder, and it will, you're going to want to be here for every twist. This isn't just Cowboys football anymore. This is prime time, and it's only getting started.